Lucille Ball needed this scene. Her entire marriage depended on it. November 1956, Desi Studios, Stage 9, Hollywood. The most important romantic scene in I Love Lucy history. Cameras ready. 300 audience members watching. Desi are standing on his mark, waiting for the woman he'd loved for 16 years. Lucy walked toward him. 10 feet away. 5t3. Then she stopped, looked him dead in the eyes, and said 5 words that made every person in that studio stop breathing. "I won't kiss you. Not today." The audience gasped. The director froze. Desi's face went white like someone had just told him the worst news of his life. But what happened in the next 90 seconds wasn't about the show anymore. It wasn't about ratings or scripts or the 40 million Americans who tuned in every Monday night. It was about a husband, a wife, and a secret Lucy had discovered 72 hours earlier. A secret that would stay buried for nearly 4 decades until now. You see, Lucy didn't refuse that kiss because she forgot her lines. She didn't refuse because she was sick or tired or having a bad day. She refused because of what she found hidden in Desi's office. 3 days before this moment, a document folded twice, tucked inside a jacket pocket where he thought she'd never look. When Lucy read those papers, her hand started shaking so hard she had to sit down. And for 72 hours, she carried that secret while smiling for cameras, rehearsing lines, pretending everything was fine. But when the director called action on that romantic scene, when she was supposed to kiss the man she'd built an empire with and look at him like their love was still real, her body simply refused to lie anymore. What the cameras caught next would change everything. If you've ever felt betrayed by someone you trusted completely, stay with me. Drop where you're watching from in the comments and let's get into this. November 1956, Lucille B. was 45 years old and exhausted. Not from the show, from pretending. Every Monday night, 40 million Americans watched Lucy and Ricky Ricardo's perfect marriage unfold on their television screens. The comedic mishaps, the tender moments, the way Ricky looked at Lucy like she was the only woman in the world. What those 40 million people didn't see was what happened when the studio lights went dark. The arguments that echoed through empty sound stages. The separate cars driving to the same house. The silence at dinner tables where laughter used to live. Desi's drinking had gotten worse. 3 years ago, it was a glass of wine after filming. Now it was a bottle before lunch and another by midnight. The affairs weren't rumors anymore. Lucy had seen the photographs. Showgirls from the Tropicana. Dancers from the Copa names she didn't recognize attached to faces she'd never forget. But Lucy stayed. Not because she was weak. Because I Love Lucy wasn't just a television show. It was a $50 million empire. Desi Studios owned 35 sound stages. They produced half the shows on CBS. Merchandising deals. Syndication rights. Hundreds of employees whose families depended on Lucy and Desi staying together. And there was the morality clause. Every CBS contract had one. Any scandal, any public divorce, any hint that America's favorite couple wasn't actually in love, and the network could cancel everything. Millions gone overnight. Careers destroyed. So Lucy did what women have done for centuries when walking away meant losing everything. She performed every week. She kissed a man whose lips had touched strangers. She held hands with fingers that had wandered where they didn't belong. She smiled at eyes that had stopped seeing her years ago. Lucy survived the affairs, survived the drinking, survived the whispered apologies that meant nothing by morning. But 3 days before that romantic scene, Lucy found something that broke her in a way nothing else had. She was looking for a pen in Desi's office. Just a pen. She opened his jacket closet, reached into a pocket, and felt paper folded twice. Official looking. Lucy almost put it back. Almost respected the privacy of a man who'd never respected hers. But something made her unfold it. And when she read those words, everything she thought she knew about her marriage collapsed. The document wasn't a love letter from another woman. It wasn't a hotel receipt or a photograph. It was worse. It was a legal document from the law offices of Goldman and Price dated 3 weeks earlier outlining the complete dissolution of their marriage, asset division, property separation, Custody arrangements for little Lucy and Desi Jr. Desi had already consulted divorce attorneys. He'd already mapped out who got the studio, who got the house, who got the children on which weekends. While Lucy was memorizing scripts and making America laugh, her husband was quietly planning his exit. The betrayal wasn't the affairs. The betrayal was the planning, the calculation. The way he'd kissed her good morning for 3 weeks while his lawyers drafted paperwork to end everything. Lucy sat in that office for an hour. Didn't cry. Didn't scream. Just sat there reading the same paragraphs over and over, waiting for the words to change. They didn't. She had 2 choices. Confront him immediately and watch their empire burn in the explosion, or wait. Pretend get through the next 3 episodes and figure out her next move. Lucy chose silence. For 72 hours, she walked through Desi Studios like nothing was wrong. Showed up to rehearsals with a smile, laughed at Desi's jokes in front of the writers, let him put his arm around her for publicity photographs. Every touch felt like poison. Every kiss burned. But Lucy had been acting her whole life. This was just another performance, the only one that mattered. The morning of the romantic scene, Lucy arrived at stage 9 at 6 a.m. makeup perfect. Hair styled in Lucy Ricardo's signature look. The document folded in her dress pocket, pressed against her hip like a wound that wouldn't heal. The rehearsal went fine. Professional. Lucy hit every mark, delivered every line, let Desi hold her hand during the blocking, but something was different. Vivian Vance noticed first, pulled Lucy aside near the coffee station. "Honey, what's wrong? Your eyes look empty." Lucy smiled. The same smile she'd been perfecting for 3 weeks. "I'm fine, Viv. Just tired." Vivian didn't believe her, but she didn't push. You don't push in this business. Everyone's carrying something. By 7:30, 300 audience members had filled the bleachers. Families from Iowa, couples from Chicago, teenagers who'd saved their allowance for months to see Lucy and Desi in person. They had no idea they were about to witness something that would never make it to air. If you're still with me, hit that subscribe button because what happens next changed television history. The director called everyone to positions and Lucy's body decided it was done pretending. The scene was supposed to be simple. Episode 147, the anniversary episode. Lucy and Ricky Ricardo renewing their love after a season of comedic misunderstandings. The script called for Lucy to walk toward Ricky, take his hands, look into his eyes, and kiss him like their marriage was the most precious thing in the world. The director wanted magic. This is about 2 people who've been through everything and still choose each other. He told them during blocking. "Lucy, you're emotional. Desi, you're vulnerable. Let's make America believe in love tonight." The cruelty wasn't lost on Lucy. She was being asked to perform the exact opposite of her reality, to sell the biggest lie of her career while carrying proof of its destruction in her pocket. Quiet on set. The assistant director's voice cut through the studio noise. 300 people fell silent. Rolling speed action. Desi delivered his lines first. Perfect as always. His voice warm, sincere, dripping with the charm that had made 50 million women fall in love with Ricky Ricardo. He reached for Lucy's hands. She gave them to him. Muscle memory. 16 years of performing intimacy. He looked into her eyes, smiled that smile, the one that used to make her heart stop. Now it made her stomach turn. Lucy, the character name in his voice. The script called for her to deliver 3 lines about second chances and forever love. Then the kiss. She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Her throat closed like someone had wrapped hands around it. Her fingers started trembling in his grip. Lucy Desi broke character slightly. Concern in his eyes, real or performed, she couldn't tell anymore. She pulled her hands away. Not gently, sharp, like touching him had become physically painful. "I can't do this." Her voice came out louder than she intended. The audience shifted. Nervous laughter from people who thought it was part of the show. Then silence when they realized it wasn't. "I won't kiss you. Not today. Not like this." Desi's face changed. The performer's mask slipping. "Lucy, what are you doing?" His voice low, warning her. She reached into her pocket, pulled out the folded document, held it up where he could see it. The color drained from his face. He knew exactly what she was holding. When were you going to tell me? Lucy's voice was steady now, calm in the way that terrified people more than screaming. Before the next episode, after we finish the season, or were you just going to have your lawyer call mine while I read about it in Variety? Lucy, please. Not here. Not in front of. Not in front of who, Desi? The 300 people you've been lying to. The crew who thinks we're happy. Or just me. The wife you already replaced on paper. The studio was completely silent. Cameras still rolling because nobody had thought to turn them off. 300 strangers witnessing a marriage collapse in real time. Desi stepped toward her, tried to take her arm, pull her off stage, somewhere private, somewhere this could stay contained. Lucy pulled back. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me right now. You want America to see us. Let them see us. Let them see what this marriage really looks like. And then Desi did something nobody expected. He turned to the director. Keep the cameras rolling. Lucy's eyes widened. What are you doing? You want the truth. Desi's voice cracked. Fine, let's give them the truth. Desi didn't look at the audience. Didn't look at the cameras. He looked only at Lucy. The way he used to look at her before Hollywood and fame and money complicated everything. Those papers aren't what you think. Lucy laughed, bitter and broken. I know what divorce papers look like, Desi. They're not divorce papers. His voice was quiet now, barely above a whisper, but somehow the microphones caught every word. They are protection papers for you. For the children, for everything we built. Protection from what? From me dying and leaving you with nothing. The words hung in the air like smoke. Lucy's anger faltered. What are you talking about? Desi reached into his own jacket, pulled out a different envelope, one she hadn't seen before. 3 weeks ago, I went to see Dr. Morrison. Chest pains, shortness of breath. I thought it was stress. His hands were shaking as he unfolded the medical report. It wasn't stress. It's my heart, Lucy. It's been giving out slowly for months, maybe years. He looked at her with eyes that held 16 years of love and mistakes and desperate hope. The doctors don't know how long I have. Could be years. Could be months. Could be. He didn't finish. Didn't need to. Lucy's face transformed. The anger draining out like someone had pulled a plug. You're sick. Her voice was small now, like a child's. I've been sick. That's why the drinking got worse. Not excuse, just I was scared. So scared. Every night I'd lie awake thinking about leaving you alone with this empire. Thinking about the kids growing up without me. Thinking about Desi wiped his eyes. The performer gone. Just a man standing in front of his wife admitting he was terrified. Those papers were never about leaving you, Lucy. They were about making sure if I left, you'd keep everything. The studio, the house, the children, your career, all of it protected because I couldn't fix my heart. But I could fix that. Lucy stood frozen. 300 people watching her process the complete reversal of everything she believed for 72 hours. I thought you were she couldn't finish. I know what you thought and I should have told you. Should have trusted you with the truth instead of trying to protect you from it. That's my fault. All those showgirls, all those nights I didn't come home. I was pushing you away because loving you and losing you felt worse than just letting you hate me. Lucy took a step toward him. Then another. The document falling from her fingers. If you've ever misjudged someone you love, hit that like button and keep watching because what happened next would stay locked away for 38 years. Lucy didn't say anything. She just kept walking toward him. The 10 feet between them feeling like miles. And then she kissed him. Not the scripted kiss, not the performance for cameras and audiences. A real kiss. The kind that says, I'm terrified and angry and I love you anyway. 300 people started crying. Not applauding. Crying because they just witnessed something more authentic than any scene I Love Lucy had ever filmed. The director looked at the producer. The producer looked at the CBS executives in the booth. Someone made a phone call. We can't air this. Too raw. Too real. The morality clause didn't account for this kind of truth. America wasn't ready to see Lucy and Desi as broken humans fighting to hold on to something that was slipping away. The episode was residential hot 3 days later. The romantic scene went perfectly. Lucy kissed Desi on cue, delivered her lines about forever love. America never knew the difference. But something changed after that night. Lucy went with Desi to his doctor's, sat in the waiting room while they ran tests, held his hand when the news was bad, and held it tighter when the news got worse. For a while, a brief beautiful while, they were partners again, not performers pretending for cameras. Real partners facing real fear together. The marriage didn't survive forever. By 1960, they divorced, but not because of betrayal, not because of papers or lawyers or lies. Because sometimes love isn't enough to fix everything. Sometimes two people can love each other completely and still not be able to make it work. That footage of Lucy's refusal, Desi's confession, the real kiss that followed, it stayed in CBS's vault. A film canister labeled episode 147 original take. Do not use buried for 38 years until someone finally told the truth. In 1994, Lucille Ball was sorting through old studio archives when she found it. A rusted canister in a forgotten corner of what used to be Desi Studios. She took it home, watched it alone. Her mother had been dead for 5 years, her father for 8, and there they were on the screen, young, broken, beautiful, real. I'd never seen them like that, Lucy said in an interview years later. Not performing, not pretending, just two people who loved each other so much it was destroying them. Lucy authorized the footage for a documentary about her parents. For the first time, America saw what really happened that night in 1956. Critics called it the most powerful 3 minutes in television history. Not because it was funny, because it was true. Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz taught America how to laugh. They created the sitcom format that every show still uses today. They built an empire that changed entertainment forever. But that one unscripted moment taught something more important. Real love isn't perfect. Real love is messy and complicated. And sometimes it looks like two people screaming at each other in front of 300 strangers. Real love is choosing someone even when you're angry, even when you're scared. Even when walking away would be easier. That's the real story. The one the cameras caught when nobody expected truth. The one that matters. If this story moved you, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Share this with someone who needs to hear that love isn't about perfection. And tell me in the comments, have you ever discovered something that changed everything you thought you knew? I'll see you in the next one.